Yeah, send the
Recording
argument.
Argument? What did you make like oh my god, please tell me you didn't put this shit in a syllogism. Nobody can make a real syllogism that doesn't suck. Oh my god.
Oh, damn.
Z-Killer, why didn't you respond?
I didn't hear your question, bro. You didn't say anything.
Times we can move these, see if these niggas want to talk.
I'm trying to
Sorry,
listen.
Haram, I had to call your mama.
Send your scans, bro.
Yeah, do you agree that Yuki is relative to Yuta?
No.
Do you actually disagree with that, or you just want me to prove it? I'm just wondering.
Prove it, prove it.
Sorry, what?
Prove it, prove it. Wait, what form are you to?
Calling games.
Yeah, prove that.
Wait, can you answer like the question though? Like it's unrelated. I'm just genuinely wondering.
I
I'm not
don't
gonna
even know.
hold
I
you
don't
to
think
any
there's-
like
I
any
don't
like
think there's a. I don't even think there's a
anything.
connected between them. So
Oh, there's a statement. That's why.
send it.
If I lose on this statement, bro, I might. Okay, just, would I drop it? The whole debate? No, I would probably just scale her higher.
Yo, Haram, hop on
Yeah.
cam.
So the topic is 15 finger Sukuna versus Yuki.
Yeah, that's Maki tucking down. Yeah, cool.
Yeah. So the line she says is Yuki. Her last name is Tsukumo. That's why she's called Tsukumo-san, because the Japanese call each other by their last name. Is at the same level of Yuta. I think that's in reference to power. She joined forces with the Death Painting and Tengen-sama, but still lost. We already knew it, but this fervor serves as confirmation that we can't beat Kenjaku through conventional means. The only thing that came out of this is that the back of the prison realm is still safe, right? Give me a second. I want to look up something.
Okay.
Okay, now talk.
Okay, why can't that just be that they're both special grade?
Because special grade isn't a title of power. It's just a title of who can overthrow a country. It wouldn't be a title of relevance. Obviously, they're talking about power, right? Because they're talking about the fact that this special grade teamed up with Choso and Tengen, and they still couldn't beat Tengen, and that reinforces their belief that they're still too weak and they can't beat Kenjaku, even if they jump them, which is obviously what I believe they mean by conventional means. They're too weak collectively to actually beat Kenjaku.
Okay, listen. A special grade is supposed to be a title of strength, because the whole thing about like the sorcerer ranking is that special grade
Special grade's
sorcerers
the
are
exception.
supposed. Wait, listen. Let me finish.
No,
Special grade
I know what
sorcerers
you're gonna
supposed to be.
say. I know what you're gonna say.
Yeah,
It's the
they're supposed
exception.
to beat. They're supposed to beat special grade curses in a fight, so that's like a fighting thing. And for you
No,
saying that they're
that's
supposed to.
not true.
Wait,
Only
you
grade
wait,
ones.
listen, you
The
said one. You
only
said one
grade
more thing.
ones only grade
Wait,
ones
let me finish.
have to be able to beat
Let me finish.
special
You
grade.
said one more thing. You said one more thing. You said that they have to like overturn countries or whatever. Yeah, they do that. It's like they do that via like strength and shit.
No, it's not strength. No, because Principal Yaga, he literally has a curse technique which allows him to make an army of like special grade pandas or some shit, because that's how he made Panda, right? If he makes an entire army of those and then he goes to raise Japan, he can literally put everyone on their knees and at his mercy, and then what's gonna happen, right? This makes complete sense, right? If he puts all of them at his mercy, even if he doesn't have the power of a special grade, like he doesn't have the power of Gojo Satoru, what's going to make the most sense, right, is think about this. Just think about this for a second. It's going to be that even though he was a weak grade 1, he was promoted simply because he had a lot of area control or area damage, right? Does that make sense? And overthrowing a country, I believe it's like in terms of like destroying the country. I don't think it's in terms of like political influence, but
Okay, wait.
Okay.
Before Flames can respond, I just want to say, Flames, you're ugly as fuck. Please put this as if you not told you. Ugly bitch. Anyways, what's up?
Look. When Yaga overthrows the country, he sends those little niggas out, right? That's still fighting. So it's still like thing where you have to fight to overturn the country. And
yeah, but that's not a power thing. That's just an area control thing.
Oh, let me finish.
No, I understand. You can interrupt me too. I'm just trying to make this end quickly.
I have one more thing.
Yes, just over talk me. It's fine.
No, I was talking. What the fuck? Listen.
Just over talk
I
me.
don't
It's
even
fine.
think I was talking first, but yeah, okay, cool. I don't think Yaga can even overturn the country if he's not special grade.
Okay, so do you think, like, let me ask you this. Let's say Yuki is like a day 1 sorcerer, and she gets her curse technique, and she's able to like increase her density so much that she creates a black hole, so she could like literally blow up the planet and like destroy it completely. Do you think like she would just not be special grade?
She can blow up the planet, so yeah, she's special grade. What the fuck?
Okay, I guess that's a bad example because that's actually destroying the planet, which would probably kill everyone on it. So let me find something more fair. Principal Yaga is a grade 1, right? You have said before that the grade 1s, right? The entire grade system is based on this higher level of skill and power as you go up in the ranks. What I'm telling you is special grade is the specific exception because Principal Yaga was already a grade 1, right? Them finding out about his curse technique, it is never stated once that his curse technique grants him additional power or whatever. All it tells us is that you have the ability to like make an army, right? Literally, when Kenjaku explains to Choso what it means to be special grade, and he would know what it means to be special grade because he has the memories of someone who was a special grade, right? Literally, he tells us that to be a special grade, you just have to be able to overthrow a country, right? So if you can overthrow a country by just killing a bunch of weak humans, because obviously humans don't scale to sorcerers, right? Like normal humans, they don't, unless you want to claim that, which would be ridiculous. It's just going to be the case that that's the only thing it is, because anything else would be an additional assumption that Kenjaku isn't telling us.
Listen, so even if you're killing humans, that's still combat based. And I sent the scan in general.
That's combat based, but can you prove it's combat based on the level where you would be a special grade in fighting ability?
That's what Kenjaku states when you destroy a fucking country, right? That's like that's what you use to get like a special grade. So you have to like
overthrow, not destroy.
Everyone.
Sure.
Overthrow by fighting, because that's what a special grade does. Like I sent the scan. They include special grade where they say like a grade 1.
Hold on, curse spirit manipulation can make an army of grade 4 curse spirits, right? Do you know how like weak grade 4 curse spirits are?
That's probably yeah.
Yeah, they're the size of they're fly heads. It's stated that fly heads can be killed by a wooden bat, right?
Cool.
And you know how much curse spirits Kenjaku had in Shibuya? He released 10 million. Cool. So my point is he has so many of them, he can overthrow a country single-handedly. That's why Geto does it, because Kenjaku's obviously inhibiting Geto's body. So, like, obviously when Geto was alive, he could do that, right? That's the point. And again, the whole issue with this is he's telling him what it means to be a special grade. He only mentions that you can overthrow a country. He doesn't mention anything about power. If your interpretation would be true, why wouldn't he just say you can overthrow a country by actually destroying it and killing everyone inside of it? I don't think you can name a single person who is actually a human who has the ability to, I don't know, even like level a city. Like humans are weak in JJK. Why are you saying this? Just drop the point.
These arguments, they're just completely divorced from what I'm saying. Like, maybe Hero lets this shit slide, but like, listen.
Yo, fucking low tier, hop off meta and just hurry and like go only do substance.
This isn't meta, you fucking idiot.
You fucking heard him, Flames, you ugly bitch. Hop off
You're
meta.
debating about the speed itself, that's meta debating.
Listen, let me finish.
Hurry up and stop wasting my time.
Yeah. You said me saying that Kenjaku, when he says that you need like to like overturn a country and shit, you said that was an extra assumption, right? That me assuming it's fighting. I already explained how special grade is correlated to fighting by saying the fucking scan that you didn't fucking read.
Yes, it's the fucking scan, right, retard? Any fucking sorcerer is going to fight, retard. But the whole fucking point is it's not correlated with a higher level of power. for all we know, a grade 4 could be a special grade as long as they're able to overthrow a fucking country. Maki literally saw this nigga Yuta day 1 and she was like, you're probably a grade 4 because you have to rank up, right? But no, he was actually given the title of special grade because Rika can destroy a country. You're so stupid. Oh my god. That's an additional assumption because that's not stated in the scan. You stating that people can overthrow a country, like, okay, you can go around and you can kill humans. Like, Choso can kill humans. Choso is losing to a grade 2 sorcerer, Yuji Itadori, right? He can kill humans. I'm pretty sure Choso, with his like large AoE abilities, could go around and just kill a vast amount of people for all we know, right? But obviously he's not special grade, because if your argument would be true, then for some reason he's losing to a grade 2. This is such a stupid point. I think we can just move on from this. I asked you the question. I asked you a question about if your interpretation would be true. Why wouldn't the scan say this? And you didn't even answer that. You didn't even track.
The scan does say that. It says word for word that special.
No. That's not the question I asked you. What I specifically asked you was, why wouldn't the scan say someone who can overthrow a country single-handedly with their power, right? With their power, because you need to meet this level of power.
They don't say it's without your power either, but we can infer that it is with their. So it's not an actual assumption. It's not an added assumption because you're making you have an assumption.
Okay, so you're saying with context, it's not an additional assumption because the context supports it, right?
Wait. Be quiet.
Okay, give justification. Give justification for your claim. Hurry up.
I'm about to give it, but you cut me off like a fucking idiot. Okay, look.
And hurry up.
The reason that is more likely in reference to like fighting and like individual combat and shit is because we know that special grades are attributed to fighting. I said the fucking scan for that. You didn't fucking read it. And let me address the other shit you said.
You're just going circular. You're such a fucking retard.
Bro, you said other shit. You said something else. You said something else. Listen. You said this shit about Choso and how he's not a special grade. I don't think killing all the humans in the country is all. I don't think killing humans is all there is taking over the country. I think you also have to like survive the tanks and shit. So maybe Choso's losing to the fucking tanks.
How are you gonna kill all the humans in the country if you don't destroy the tanks? Don't you think people are gonna get in the tanks? Don't you think people are gonna use their military to defend themselves if their country's being rampaged by some cursed spirit? No.
If their country is being rampaged, right, and they have like tanks and shit, right, and then
don't you think they're gonna use the tanks?
Shut up, bro. Shut up. The tanks.
Don't you think they're gonna use the tanks?
Humans, and they have different AP. Yeah, obviously humans will use the tanks. What the fuck?
Okay, you're such a retard.
I'm saying Choso can't kill the humans while they're using the tanks.
He can't. Okay, prove that. You just made an affirmative claim, right? Prove that. Prove he can't destroy a tank.
Is he special grade? No, you said he's not.
That's just gonna tie back to your entire belief from the start. You're really just going circular. We're not getting new substance or anything. You're just going all the way back to your start. Now, another thing, I'm gonna ask you this question. Hold on, retard. I don't care about meta. I don't care about meta. Hold on, I don't care about meta. Don't try to get on meta.
It's not even meta. You literally granted that special grades are special. They can overthrow a country.
Right? Pay attention. Wait, I have a question. Do you think like the special grades, like being on the top, like above like all 1 through 4, do you think that automatically necessitates it being in reference to power?
That's not what I used to argue for power.
I asked you a question though.
I already answered the question.
I understand that's not what you use, but do you think this? Do you have this belief?
Special grades are over grade 1s and grade 2s, yeah.
Okay, I mean, I was asking more so about the scan in particular, but if you're not going to track, that's fine. Yeah, I think you suck. I think you just got completely bitched on this, so I think we can just move on.
Directly implies.
Yeah, we can just move on, fat ass bitch. We can just move on, fat ass bitch.
That's fine.
Okay, so yeah, so yeah, so obviously, retard. Yuki and Utah are relative, right? So since I'm on the affirmative, I'm gonna go to my next part. Do you agree that 15 Finger Sukuna's only feats are beating Maharaga and Jogo?
Maharaga and no.
Actually, what other feats do you think he has?
Wait. Actually, I can grant that. Why does that matter?
Yeah, he doesn't have any feats to get him to that level because Jogo, right? Let me actually grab up my tier list so it's easier to get the chain scale. Because I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna remember shit. I'm just gonna grab it from my tier list.
You think a lack of feats insinuates that they're weaker than someone with more feats?
I'm not saying that it insinuates that they are weaker. I'm saying that it gives them higher assertive scaling. So in a debate, if I can actually scale my character above this certain threshold, right? But you can't actually prove that your character's on that threshold, then we would have more reason to believe in my interpretation, right? So people would roll with what I'm saying, right? No, you can't actually get your character anywhere near mine.
That's a textbook definition of an argument from ignorance. You know that.
It's not an argument from an ignorance. An argument from ignorance would be if I'm using this lack of evidence to support the contrary. All I'm saying is that we know they would have higher assertive scaling. Assertive is just scaling to which we can actually
you're saying they have
posit,
higher
right?
assertive
Give me a second, bump. Give me a second, bump. Give me a second, bump. No. Just I have to clarify my definition because you seem to be retarded and you don't understand.
You already clarified.
Hold on, retard.
You're saying
I
that
haven't
higher
clarified
assertive
it.
scaling
How are you going to tell me?
because of the lack of scaling on
I'm telling you I haven't clarified it. I'm telling you I haven't clarified it. Go on mute, please. Go on mute.
No.
Okay. So what I'm trying to tell you, right, what I mean by higher assertive scaling, I'm just talking about the scaling to which we can actually posit, right? I can actually say this for sure, that Yuki scales to this level if my scan holds to be true, right? You don't have any evidence to scale to get your character up to there, so we have no reason to believe that your thing is true, right? But I actually have proof to get my character up to this level, right? Yours is an uncertainty. Mine is a certainty that my character is on that level. It's higher assertive scaling, and the sense we're on a tier list, Yuki would be in C tier, whereas Jogo, no, not Jogo, sorry. Who are you using? You're using 15 Finger Sukuna. He's only in the middle of D tier on my tier list. You can't actually prove that he would scale above other characters which have higher assertive scaling. They're closer to the people at the top. That's what I'm saying. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. It's completely retarded, alright? Basically, you're just saying that Yuki's in B tier or whatever, and then Sukuna would just be in C tier because of a lack of scaling to get him higher. But you can't actually say he caps at C tier, so we don't know if he gets higher than C tier or not. So you're essentially saying that Yuki is above because of the lack of assertive scaling for 15 Finger over, which is a textbook fucking definition of an argument from ignorance. You're saying one thing, you're coming to a conclusion because of the lack of evidence for something else.
Okay, brother, it would be an argument from ignorance if I would be saying that the lack of evidence for 15 Fingers Sukuna being above Yuki would mean that she actually is above him. I'm only saying that she's above him and what we know, right? I'm not saying that she's above him in actuality. There's a difference. You should be able to know that, right?
Why? Wait. Why?
Okay,
you're saying
so let me tell you this. You asked me why. Let me explain. You asked me a question. I'll explain why. Okay. Reason why is, let's say you invest in a stocks, right?
That's not what I asked you to explain, retard. That's not
okay. I'm about to give you an analogy to explain. If you didn't try to precog what I was about to say, you might have understood that.
You don't know what I was asking you to explain. You don't know what I was asking.
No. You just said why in response to the last thing I said. So obviously, I do know what you asked me to explain, right? So, why did you just leave? Okay.
I'm back, but you don't know what I'm asking you to explain.
Okay, so hold on, bump. You said why in response to the last thing I said, so let me just respond.
No, you don't know what I was specifically asking. You're just going on a tangent.
You said why in response to what I'm going to say. What I said, why would I not know what you're asking me to prove?
You're not even responding to my question.
Okay, I'm trying to, but you just came in here with a louder mic again. You're now going to try to overtalk me, I believe, and you're not going to let me answer your question. Let me answer your question, please.
Haram, we can wrap this up in like 4 minutes, all right? Because you're gonna get like bitch run, okay? So
okay, I don't care. Can I answer your question?
You don't know what I said why to. You don't know what I said why to specifically.
I know I know when you said why though, so I know it would be in reference to the latest thing I said.
What was the latest thing? What's the latest thing you said? What the fuck?
I don't know. Maybe you're just a retard and you say why 10 seconds after I make a claim. Maybe you're like some afraid retard that's like afraid to ask me a question, so you wait for the perfect moment and then you say why at the end.
It's okay.
So sure, go clarify.
Calm down. I was about to clarify, but you cut me off when I said why.
Okay, just hurry up then. I don't care. Just hurry up. Just hurry up.
Listen.
Hurry up.
Okay. When I said why,
ask the question.
Are you gonna be finished? When I said why,
ask the question.
I was saying why is it the case that you just saying that, okay, we know that Yuki has this feat, right? And then this feat is better than this feat, okay? That Sukuna has, and Sukuna only has that feat, right? How does that mean? How is that valid to us saying that Yuki's over Sukuna when we don't know that if Sukuna caps this level or not?
Yeah, okay. So, okay. So, the reason is, right, this is how I rationalize it. If you know about, like, this stock, for example.
Yeah, I cut out. Did you hear what I said?
Yes, I heard what you said. I don't understand why you get louder every time you rejoin the call. So what I'm trying to tell you, okay, so the way I rationalize it is this. Let's say, what's a good analogy? Okay, do you eat school lunch or no?
Yes.
Okay. So you eat school lunch. So let's say you didn't know what the exact
You also
routine was.
eat dig, bitch.
Okay.
Oh,
So let's say you didn't know. Okay, so let's say you didn't know the exact routine for school lunch. What are they putting out on these days, right? And you knew that on Fridays, at least, there's always going to be pizza, right? Right.
Mhm.
But you know, there's also a small chance on Friday, right, that another line, because you know, school cafeterias have long lines, right? And you might not always know what's at the front of the lunch line in term for food, right? So you might not know what's in each line for food, except for the pizza line, because you know pizza is always going to be in this line, but the other line could have this mystery food, right? This mystery food could be fried chicken and mashed potatoes, right? Fried chicken and mashed potatoes is your favorite thing on the lunch menu, but it doesn't come very often. Obviously, you're going to go for the pizza line, right? Because you don't know the chance or any of the variables or have any likelihood for this thing being something that's going to be there that day. You don't have any likelihood, and you don't know the variables, and the variable being if there's mashed potatoes and fried chicken that day, right? So obviously you're going to go to the pizza line because the pizza line has your second favorite food out of the whole menu, right? That's the same
No,
thing here.
that's
You know that Yuki scales here and Yuki scaling there, right, is above, right? Some things which are at the bottom, which we know that that thing is like obvious, like to put it into perspective, 15 finger Sukuna is obviously above 3-finger Sukuna. 3-finger Sukuna can only be proven to be above Jogo, right? But we also know that there's characters who should be much above, who are also above Jogo, such as Mei, right? Let's say for Mei should be much below Yuta in the Culling games, right? And Yuta in the Culling games is comparable to Yuki. We have more of a basis to say that Sukuna is stronger than Mei. But no, is potentially stronger than Mei, but we actually know for a certainty that Yuki's at this higher level of power, right? So we should so the way I rationalize that is you should go for this tier, C tier instead of D tier.
okay. The
And
way I
also to wrap it up, that was a long tangent and all that stuff. But if you can't even scale your character above, my character really just has higher assertive scaling anyways. So
okay, the reason that was so fucking ass, right, is because with the pizza line. Did I cut out real quick? Did I cut out?
no,
Okay, good.
No,
make it
you
With the
ugly.
pizza line, with the
make
pizza
it
line, you have
snappy.
like a trend. You have like a trend of like pizza being there on Friday. You know this shit. But with the Yuki and Sukuna analogy, you don't know if Sukuna like caps at Jogo level, right? Or if he scales like way above Jogo, right?
To
He
be
could be
clear, the mashed
anywhere.
potatoes are
Oh,
what you
listen,
don't
listen,
know
listen,
about.
listen, listen. No,
You don't
listen,
know
listen.
about the mashed potatoes. It's not the
Yeah, cool.
pizza. You know about the mashed
I
potatoes.
grant that. I grant
You
that.
don't
I
know about
grant
the mashed
that.
potatoes.
That's literally
Mhm.
what I said. That's what I said. You have this trend of pizza always being there on Friday. Cool. That's what I said. But with this
And you
case,
know
that's completely
Yuki's always going to
discounts.
be at that higher
Are
level
you
of
gonna let me
power.
finish? Wait, did I cut you off? Did I cut you off? No, I didn't. Okay, so let me finish real quick.
I
Okay.
understand that, but I'm making this snappy
No,
because I don't
no,
really care
you don't
to debate
understand my
you that
argument. You don't
much.
understand my argument. You don't understand my argument. So you can
I understand
rationalize
your
it this way.
argument, but if you're saying it's
No,
not
no, no,
analogous, I want to make it
no, you
clear
don't. No,
that
you
it
don't.
is
No, you don't. No,
analogous.
that's not my argument. That's not my argument. I'm gonna explain how it is analogous, right? And I'm gonna add something else. Okay. So basically, you're saying that you would rationalize it this way that Yuki just like in a higher tier than Sukuna because of this better fee, right? I'm saying, well, I don't grant that. I'd rationalize it as Yuki just doesn't have a connective to Sukuna. We can just say opposite things. That's fine. Those are just opinions. Give an actual reason for why you have like some sort of like valid justification here, right? Because you're just saying that you're saying your own shit, bro. Like
Wait,
I can
what?
disagree. That's fine.
Just to be clear, how would we be able to say the opposite? And I assume what you mean by the opposite means to be this case, it would mean to be this, right? The opposite would be 15 finger Sukuna is the one with confirmed scaling, C tier, and Yuki's this one in this D tier that we don't know much about. She could be stronger than Sukuna, but we don't know that, right? That's just how I rank characters. If a character is higher assertive scaling, like we can assert this for sure, but we don't have any likelihood for your character. Your character can only go as high as we can possibly prove they go, right?
That's just what's in question. You just restated yourself. And for the analogy, that's also you just restating yourself, not actually giving justification for why your line of reasoning for why having a better
I've
feat
given you
makes you like.
justification. You're
No, you just
completely
restated the
wrong.
same thing. You just restated the same thing. You said that's what we'd go with. I don't care if that's what you think we'd go with. Give that for that.
No, the reasoning was within the pizza analogy. You somehow managed to just completely miss
What
that when I've
analogy
given you
just
a
repeats
nice,
your own thing?
perfect analogy. But sure.
No, that
So
analogy was
yeah,
ass.
so retard. Yeah, so that's all. Yeah, so try to get
That's all?
15
Okay,
finger
cool. Let's continue.
Sukuna.
Let's
So try
continue.
to get
Let's
15
continue.
finger Sukuna above Yuki. If you can't, that's all.
I can get him over Utah. Sure, yeah, I guess. Yeah, I can get over Yuta.
Sure, do that.
It's like
Do that.
15 finger
Do
over Ryu to Yuta.
Why is 15 finger over Ryu?
You don't read the fucking manga?
That's 16 finger Sukuna. That's not 15 finger Sukuna.
Okay,
You can't
cool.
backscale the two.
Cool, bro. Okay. Wait, that's 16. No, wait, that is? What the fuck?
Yes, that's 16 finger Sukuna. One of the fingers
I
is
swear,
sealed within
I
Yuji
don't care. I don't care.
Itadori's
I'm
body.
agnostic. I don't care. I'm agnostic. I don't care. I'm agnostic. I think I won anyways. Oh, you want
You're
to do this?
agnostic,
Like,
so you're not going to scale your character above. How are you going to win? Are you retarded?
by defeating your scaling. By
Hey,
you not
You
having
defeating
your
my
scaling.
scaling would make you go incon at worst. It wouldn't even get your character
Hey,
above.
No,
You fucking suck.
bitch, no.
2,
Hey, I'm gonna
I don't-
explain what an agnostic
3.
position is. To you.
We
Real quick,
hate
I
low
hate low
tiers.
tiers.
Okay, listen. An agnostic position means I can't establish who wins, right? And if I can't, I'm saying I can't establish who wins because there's no scaling for one over the other. If I defeat your scaling for there not being one over the other, and I don't have any scaling for Yuki, I mean like my character over, then no one has
Yeah, so then
scaling and
it's
I win.
inconclusive. How do we determine who wins in a fight?
No. My
Because
position
the
is
topic in
wait,
question
no.
is who would win in a
Listen.
fight, correct?
The fight, yeah, the
How are we
fight is
going to determine
inclusive.
who
But
wins?
the debate, I win. The debate, I win. The fight is inclusive.
Do you think just taking an agnostic standpoint while defeating someone on the affirmative, for like a fiction like debate, like trying to get their character, to this level would automatically mean that like your character's above? Because that's not how people do fiction debates.
No,
People
that's
do
not what I'm
fiction
saying. That's not what I'm
debates.
saying. I'm saying we can't establish who's over the other. This is my
Yeah,
position.
so I feel so that's inconclusive. I don't care about your shitty like
No, the
agnostic
fight
belief.
can be inconclusive. Okay, you agreed that I can be agnostic in the
I
debate.
mean, one thing that isn't inconclusive is under your viewpoint, if you did actually win in some impossible scenario, yeah, sure, you beat me on my scaling, right? So I don't actually
Cool.
get Yuki relative to Yuta, but that doesn't get your character anywhere. So the actual topic at hand, because us debaters, we have to prove our positions. You haven't proved your position, I haven't proved my position.
My position is we can't prove anyone wins the fight. So the fight is inconclusive, but the debate I win because I fulfill my position. I defeated your scaling. So yeah.
Okay,
Hello?
your position's very retarded.
You
I
agreed
guess
to
I
debate me
guess I
with that
should.
position.
Hold on.
Listen.
Hold on. 1 second, bum. 1 second, bum. 1 second.
Yeah, you heard it, bitch.
An agnostic position is retarded. What the fuck?
Hey, shut up,
Yes.
bitch.
Okay, an agnostic position isn't retarded in general. That wasn't my claim. Look at you
That's
trying
what
to
you
be
said, bro.
stupid.
That's
Look
what
at
you
you
said.
being stupid intentionally, and then only
That's what
making
you
yourself
said.
look
No, that's
stupid
what
when
you
you get
said.
called
That's
out
what
on
you
it.
said. Don't be.
That wasn't
Don't
what
be
I said.
backtracking.
What I said was an
Don't be
agnostic
backtracking,
position.
bro. That's what you said.
Using an agnostic position as a basis to believe, having this belief that you can be on this agnostic position in an inverse debate and you can still win the actual topic is stupid. Nobody would agree with you. Nobody and their mother.
Yes, you can. Your character might not
You
win the
can,
fight.
but nobody would
you
agree
win the
with
topic.
you.
No one would agree with what? That I won?
Yeah, nobody would
defeated
agree
your
with that
scaling.
line of reasoning. That sentiment is retarded.
Okay, if Jaro debates Vortex, right, and then if Jaro just shits all over Vortex's scaling, no, actually, put it the other way around because Vortex is better, right? Vortex was shit all over Jaro's scaling, right? You're still gonna say Vortex is a better debater than Jaro.
Also, just to be clear, can you prove 15 Finger Sukuna has any scaling at all? Because I low-key just thought about it. I don't think I can prove 15 Finger Sukuna even beats Finger Bear too.
I don't think. Okay, I got you. Actually,
I'm not even trying to be like a retard. I genuinely don't think you can prove 15 Finger Sukuna can beat Finger Bear too. It's probably more likely. I don't think you can prove it definitively.
anyways, look, 50 Finger Sukuna can move. That's scaling. Okay.
Okay, that's scaling. How does that fulfill? What's the premises? What's the
So
conclusion?
you have You have some scaling, right? You can't actually
You're
prove
done with
you
all due
scaling
respect.
you that.
Hey,
Listen, listen,
Future,
let
you
me
can
teach
get
you.
these hands too, nigga. You can get these hands too.
Hold on.
I'm not gonna lie, Figure Bear 2 might
Hey,
just beat the shit out of
what I said
15
was,
figure
wait,
Sukuna,
listen,
nigga.
haram. Listen, you scaled
Wait,
Yuki to
I'm
Yugi.
trolling.
And then
Figure
you
Bear
have
2 is
scale.
15 figure Sukuna does have Figure Bear 2 shit. I'm sorry. That was dumb of me. Anyways, yourself, fuck nigga.
I'm gonna go to sleep. Goodbye.
That was easy, bitch ass nigga.